Have you ever seen something before it happened? Felt something deep in your soul before anyone else noticed? Dreamed of events that came to pass exactly as you saw them? That's not coincidence. That's not your imagination. That's a gift. And if you're watching this right now, it means one thing. You're chosen. And you've been seeing the future all along. But here's the real question. What are you doing with that gift? The world doesn't believe in people like you. From the moment you were born, you were misunderstood. Teachers said you were distracted. Friends said you were weird. Even your own family couldn't understand your silence, your intensity, your inner world. But that wasn't confusion, it was clarity. You were born with a perception that pierced the veil of time. While others were stuck in the present, you were already connected to what was coming. You saw patterns, you felt energies, you sensed endings before they even began. You didn't ask for this gift, and yet it's always been with you in dreams, in instincts, in those moments where you just knew. You knew someone was lying without proof. You knew someone was going to call before the phone rang. You sensed danger, breakthrough, heartbreak, long before it showed up in real life. But because the world has no language for this, you doubted yourself. You thought you were broken. You thought you were cursed. But now you're starting to remember. You're starting to awaken. This isn't a curse, it's a divine technology, a holy radar, a gift straight from the Spirit. You weren't meant to blend in, you were meant to warn, to guide, to see. And that seeing, that insight, that foresight, it's the evidence that you're not just anyone. You're a chosen one, someone whose mind and soul are connected to something far beyond human logic. The reason your life has been so strange is because you've been chosen to carry something rare, something dangerous, something sacred, the ability to see the future and use it to shape destiny. Most people walk through life blind. They react, they stumble, they follow the crowd, hoping something will guide them. But you've always been different. You've always felt something ahead of you, like a silent whisper pulling you forward. That whisper? That was the future trying to speak through you. Let me show you the signs. You've always had powerful dreams, visions so vivid, so emotional that waking up feels like returning from another world. And sometimes those dreams come true, not metaphorically, literally. You dream of people before meeting them, of places you've never been, of situations that unfold months, even years later. That's not fantasy, that's foresight. You feel things before they happen. When something bad is about to happen, your body reacts. Your heart gets heavy. Your spirit becomes restless. You feel a pressure in the air, like a storm building inside your chest. No one else sees it, no one else hears it, but you know. And when it finally happens, when tragedy strikes or change explodes, you realize you were already living it days ago. Your intuition is surgical. You can walk into a room and instantly feel who's hiding something, who's in pain, who's dangerous. You don't need them to speak, you don't need proof. You feel the truth under their words, and often you try to ignore it, to silence it. You don't want to seem paranoid or dramatic, but deep inside you always know what's coming. That knowing, that's your spiritual radar. And let's talk about those strange moments when everything feels familiar even though it shouldn't. You're not just remembering a place, you're remembering a timeline, a possible future you already walked through in your spirit. That's why it feels real, because it was. You crossed into a moment before it physically arrived. That's the power you carry. Time bends around you whether you realize it or not. You've also noticed how people react to your presence. They either open up to you instantly as if drawn to your energy, or they fear you, avoid you, or even attack you without cause. That's because your energy exposes hidden things. Your eyes pierce through layers. Your presence threatens lies. When someone is living in illusion, your truth becomes unbearable to them. That's why the enemy has always tried to isolate you, make you doubt yourself, make you mute your gift. But no more. The signs are too clear. The visions too frequent. The truth too loud. You were never meant to be normal. You were sent here as a spiritual lighthouse. A soul who could see what's ahead and help guide others through the fog of confusion. You've seen things before they happened because you're being prepared to become a leader in a world that's walking blindly into the unknown. Your foresight is not entertainment. It's not weird. It's not mental illness. It is a gift of the Spirit, a divine instrument placed in you by the Creator. And the moment you accept it, sharpen it, and use it, you become unstoppable. Visions are not given for decoration. They are not random. They are not accidents. They are divine assignments wrapped in spiritual responsibility. When God gives you the ability to see the future, it means He's trusting you with something dangerous, sacred, and urgent. He doesn't give that gift to just anyone. He gives it to those who are ready to carry the weight of truth before the world can handle it. Chosen ones are messengers. You are not here to fit in. You are here to warn, to reveal, and to prepare. When you see what's coming, it's not for your entertainment. It's a call to action, a warning, a map, a responsibility to walk ahead and make the path clear for those behind you. It's like being on a battlefield, hearing the enemy's plans before they strike. That knowledge can save lives, but only if you have the courage to speak it or to act on it before anyone else believes it. God gives visions to those who can carry loneliness, because being ahead of your time means walking alone. No one sees what you see. No one understands what you feel. You're speaking about storms while the sky is still blue. You're warning about spiritual danger while others are still asleep. And when they mock you, when they ignore you, when they call you crazy, you feel the weight of your gift like a curse. But it's not a curse, it's confirmation. The vision was never meant to make you popular. It was meant to make you prepared. Sometimes your visions come in the form of people. God shows you their hearts before they reveal them. Sometimes it's places. He shows you where not to go, who not to trust, what to avoid. Sometimes it's your own future. God reveals your purpose in fragments to keep you focused even when life tries to break you. But in every form, the vision is proof that you're not walking blindly. You're being guided, instructed, and equipped for something greater than this world can see. You were chosen because you're spiritually mature. Even when you cry, even when you doubt, even when you feel weak, your soul is strong enough to carry revelation. That's why God didn't give it to your friends. That's why your family can't see it. That's why no one around you understands what's been waking you up at night. You were given visions because you were born to lead, not follow. To walk ahead, not with the crowd. To speak truth, even when it costs you everything. And here's the secret. The more you honor the vision, the more detailed it becomes. The more you obey it, the louder it gets. And the more you deny it, the more painful your life becomes, because when a chosen one ignores the call, life becomes chaotic. Why? Because you were born to walk in divine order. Anything less will destroy your peace. You weren't made for confusion, you were made for clarity, and the vision is your compass. Every gift from God comes with a weight, and the gift of sight, the ability to see beyond the veil, is one of the heaviest. Because when you can see the future, you also carry the burden of what others refuse to see. There's a side of this gift that no one talks about. The pain of knowing something is coming and watching people ignore your warnings. The loneliness of seeing everyone smile while you feel the storm approaching. The frustration of having clarity in a world that thrives on confusion. You try to warn them, they laugh. You try to help them, they run. You try to explain your dreams, your instincts, your visions, and they call you crazy, paranoid, or dramatic. You start to question yourself. Maybe I'm imagining things. Maybe I'm overreacting, and maybe I should just stay quiet. But that's the trap. Because the enemy's greatest fear is not your silence, it's your obedience to the vision. He wants you to suppress it, to doubt it, to reject it, because once you embrace your gift fully, you become a threat to darkness itself. There's also the emotional toll. You're always in two places, what is and what's coming. You're smiling with people but grieving what's about to end. You're laughing in a moment but already feeling the consequences of a decision that hasn't even been made yet. You live with a spiritual time delay, always ahead, always on edge. It's exhausting, and it's isolating. That's why chosen ones often battle anxiety, depression, or fatigue, not because they are weak, but because they are spiritually overwhelmed. You absorb what others deny, you feel what others suppress, you carry the emotional weight of future pain, present confusion, and past wounds, all at once. And unless you learn how to protect your spirit, this gift can become a burden that crushes your soul. You've also been attacked for it, spiritually, emotionally, even physically. Because the enemy knows, if he can break your focus, if he can poison your mind with fear, if he can trap you in self-doubt, you'll silence yourself. And once you silence yourself, the vision goes unused. The people you were meant to help go unprotected. The warning you were meant to sound never gets heard. But that's not your portion. That's not your destiny. Yes, there's a dark side to this sight, but there's also power in it. Power to walk through fire and not be burned. Power to stand still while the world panics. Power to prepare while others sleep. Power to lead with clarity while others are lost in confusion. But that power only comes when you accept the full weight of your gift. Not just the glory, but the grief. Not just the vision, but the warfare that comes with it. Remember this, the reason your battles are so intense is because your vision is so specific. The reason your isolation is so deep is because your calling is so high. The reason your path is so heavy is because your purpose is so rare. And when you learn to survive the dark side of prophetic sight, you emerge with a wisdom that no book can teach, a strength that no training can give, and a light that no darkness can ever extinguish. Your gift was never meant to serve only you. That's why it often feels too big for your own life, because it was designed to reach beyond you. The visions you receive, the instincts you feel, the warnings that shake your spirit in the middle of the night, they're not random, they're assignments. You were sent here not just to see, but to serve, not just to know, but to guide. Every time you ignore a vision, someone walks into danger. Every time you remain silent, someone stumbles in the dark. You were given the ability to see ahead so you could lead others through what they don't yet understand. Start with your presence. You don't always need words. When you walk into a room, people feel something shift. That's not coincidence, that's spiritual weight. Your energy brings clarity. Your silence makes people reflect. Your eyes see through masks. That alone is a form of leadership. Don't waste it. Don't hide it. Don't downplay it just to make others comfortable. Your light is not meant to fit in. It's meant to expose, to awaken, to confront what has been hiding in the dark. Speak when the Spirit prompts you. Don't argue. Don't wait for validation. If you feel led to warn someone, do it with love and obedience. If you see danger ahead for someone you care about, speak up. If God shows you something, it's not to entertain you, it's to move you. And if you delay, the window closes. Not every vision lasts forever. Some are time-sensitive, urgent, and critical. You must become bold enough to speak even when your voice shakes. Even when you know they won't listen. Because the goal is not to be believed, the goal is to be obedient. Use discernment. Not every vision is for public sharing. Some are just for you, to prepare you, to warn you, to train you in private. Learn to distinguish when God is asking you to act and when He's asking you to observe. Sometimes your role is to speak, other times it's to intercede in prayer, and sometimes it's just to move in silence. Your gift will grow as you learn how to use it with wisdom. Help without controlling. You are not God, you are a vessel. Don't try to force people to accept what you see. You plant the seed, but God controls the outcome. If someone rejects your warning, let them go. You've done your part. Never allow pride to make you believe that your vision is a weapon to control others. It's a compass to guide, a light to reveal, a message to serve. Stay humble and the visions will flow stronger. Use them with pride and they'll begin to fade. Finally, lead by example. Live what you preach. Walk in integrity. Honor your gift by living a life that matches your sight. You can't claim to see clearly and still walk in confusion. You can't warn others about darkness while living in it. Your life must be a living prophecy, a reflection of what obedience looks like, a mirror of what it means to trust the vision, even when it's hard, even when it's lonely, even when it costs you everything. Because when people see how your obedience protects you, they'll begin to trust your voice. And when they do, you'll step fully into your role, not just as a visionary, but as a guide, a healer, a leader. The chosen one who didn't just see the future, but helped others survive it. Chosen ones are not made in crowds. They are formed in silence, shaped in solitude, forged in fire away from the noise of the world. That isolation you've experienced, the loneliness, the disconnection, the feeling of being misunderstood, that wasn't punishment, it was preparation. God separates before He elevates. He hides you before He uses you. He isolates you to detox your spirit from everything that was never meant to walk with your destiny. You weren't rejected by people, you were redirected by the Spirit. The friendships that crumbled, the circles that pushed you out, the environments that no longer felt right. It was never random, it was divine intervention. God knew that your gift couldn't survive in the noise, that your vision couldn't sharpen in distraction. So He stripped you of everything familiar, not to hurt you, but to help you hear Him clearly. In silence, you discover your real thoughts. In isolation, you face the truth of who you are. There's no one to impress, no one to pretend for, just you, your soul, and God. That's where the real work happens. That's where your gift awakens. The noise of the world would have drowned out your purpose. But in the stillness, your vision starts to make sense. You begin to understand why you feel things so deeply, why you can't tolerate certain energies, why crowds drain you. You're not antisocial. You're spiritually sensitive. The world will tell you that isolation is weakness, that silence is emptiness. But in the kingdom of God, silence is where secrets are revealed, and isolation is where leaders are born. Moses was isolated in the desert before confronting Pharaoh. Elijah was fed in solitude before facing kings. Even Jesus withdrew from the crowds to pray, to listen, to prepare. You're not alone because you're forgotten. You're alone because you're being filled with something sacred, something the world can't access. Don't rush out of your isolation. Don't beg to be seen. Don't try to rejoin circles God already dismantled. Let the silence do its work. Let it sharpen you. Let it strip away the false identities you've carried. Because when the time comes for you to speak, to lead, to move, your voice will carry the weight of heaven behind it. Some of the most dangerous chosen ones are the quiet ones. The ones who disappeared for a season only to return with power, clarity, and divine precision. That's what God is doing in you. He's making you dangerous to darkness. And to do that, He had to strip you of distractions. He had to teach you the language of silence, the wisdom of waiting, the strength of stillness. So the next time you feel alone, misunderstood, or hidden, remember this: you're not buried, you're planted, and in the silence your roots are growing deeper than anyone can see. When the world finally hears your voice, they'll have no idea how long you were growing in the dark. The moment you awaken to your gift, you become a target. The enemy doesn't fear talent. He fears vision. He fears obedience. He fears clarity. And when a chosen one begins to see, begins to move, begins to obey, spiritual warfare intensifies, not because you're weak, but because you're dangerous. The attacks you've been facing, mental fatigue, confusion, fear, random chaos, they are not coincidences. They are attempts to shut down your gift before it matures. You must understand, your visions threaten the kingdom of darkness. When you see what others don't, you destroy the enemy's element of surprise. When you speak truth, you break illusions. When you walk in alignment, you become a portal for divine power. That's why hell comes for your mind first. That's why you battle anxiety, depression, overthinking. The goal is simple: disconnect you from your gift, dull your sensitivity, drown your clarity in emotional noise. You must protect your mind at all costs. Guard your thoughts like treasure. Your mind is not a playground, it is a prophetic instrument. What you meditate on becomes your atmosphere. That's why the enemy tries to flood you with fear, doubt, and lies. You must counter it daily with truth. Declare who you are. Remind your soul of the vision. Speak life when death whispers. Pray even when you don't feel like it. Worship even when you're weary. Because your spiritual rhythm is your protection. Watch your environment. Not everyone deserves access to your spirit. Some people carry contamination, jealousy, manipulation, demonic attachments. When your discernment starts to scream around someone, don't ignore it. Your peace is not paranoid, it's prophetic. Distance is not disrespect, it's defense. Set boundaries with boldness. Some people were only sent to delay you, some were sent to destroy you. Learn to let go without guilt. Cover your gift in prayer daily, consistently. Your gift is not self-sustaining. It needs protection. Pray over your dreams. Pray over your intuition. Pray over your voice, your emotions, your clarity. Declare that no weapon formed against your vision shall prosper. Break every word curse spoken against your destiny. Reject every lie trying to infiltrate your mind. Speak authority over your spiritual life like a soldier preparing for war. Protect your rest. The enemy loves to attack at night because that's when your guard is down and your spirit is most open. That's why your sleep is often disrupted. That's why you feel drained in the morning. Before you rest, seal your atmosphere. Pray over your room. Play worship. Ask God to guard your spirit and block any demonic interference. Your dreams are sacred ground. Keep them protected. And above all, stay connected to your source. Your power doesn't come from effort, it comes from alignment. Stay close to God. Listen to His voice more than you listen to the world. Let the Holy Spirit train your gift. Let Him correct you, stretch you, prepare you, because your protection doesn't come from avoiding battle. It comes from knowing who you are in the battle. You are not a victim, you are a weapon. A chosen one, armored in light, filled with vision, backed by heaven. So the next time the enemy tries to break you, shake you, confuse you, stand tall. You were never meant to fight like everyone else. You were made to fight with foresight, with clarity, with authority. And when you walk in that, every attack becomes fuel for your rise. You've seen glimpses, you've felt it stirring. You've had moments where your vision was sharp, your spirit was clear, and your intuition felt almost supernatural. But that was only the beginning. That was the introduction. There is another level, deeper, stronger, more precise, and God is calling you to unlock it. Your gift is like a spiritual muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. The more you obey it, the more it grows. But if you ignore it, neglect it, or fear it, it will shrink. To go to the next level, you must first make a decision. No more hiding, no more second guessing, no more waiting for permission to be who you already are. Next level vision requires next level discipline. You can't live like everyone else and expect to see what they can't. You must protect your spiritual atmosphere like it's oxygen. Watch what you feed your mind. Watch who you allow into your space. Fasting, prayer, solitude, silence, these are no longer optional. They are essential. They are the gym where your spirit trains. The more you separate from the noise, the louder God's voice becomes. The more you silence the world, the clearer the downloads become. Prophetic clarity is not about effort, it's about positioning. You must also start documenting everything. Keep a journal, a notebook, a voice memo. When you receive a dream, write it down. When a name drops into your spirit, record it. When you feel a sudden urgency to pray for someone, don't brush it off. Capture it. Because the more you honor the information heaven gives you, the more it will flow. God speaks to good stewards, and the next level of your gift is unlocked through obedience to what He already gave you. Trust the timing of your insights. Sometimes you'll see things weeks, months, even years before they unfold. That doesn't mean you're wrong. It means you're early. And the mature chosen ones don't get frustrated by delay. They get prepared. Your job is not to force the vision into reality. Your job is to align with it, protect it, and walk in faith until it manifests. Next level sight requires next level patience. It requires trust that what God showed you will happen, even if no one else sees it yet. Your gift will evolve. You'll go from vague feelings to sharp details, from random instincts to divine strategy, from emotional reactions to prophetic instruction. You'll begin to know things with precision, names, places, dates, directions. You'll begin to move with confidence because you're no longer guessing, you're receiving. And as your clarity increases, so will your responsibility. You won't just see the future, you'll be expected to prepare others for it. There will also be tests, moments where your sight is challenged, times when the vision seems silent. Don't panic, that silence is part of your training. God is teaching you to trust what He already said, not just chase new revelation. The next level is not about constant stimulation. It's about maturity. It's about walking in authority even when the heavens are quiet, because you know you've already received the instruction. And above all, remain humble. Power without humility becomes manipulation. Sight without surrender becomes arrogance. You are a vessel, not the source. Every time your gift sharpens, every time your vision expands, every time your word proves true, give the glory to God. That posture is what sustains your gift. That humility is what protects it. And that surrender is what will unlock the final level of your destiny. There's a version of you that already exists in the future. A higher self, a wiser self, a you that has already survived everything you're facing now. That version of you is not some fantasy, it's a spiritual reality. God exists outside of time, and when He calls you, He doesn't speak to your present weakness, He speaks to your future strength. That's why you hear things you don't understand yet. That's why you feel drawn to things that make no logical sense. It's your future self calling you forward. And if you listen closely, you'll hear the echo. That instinct you have, that voice that tells you, don't go there, or start this now, or prepare for something bigger. That's your future self sending signals back to your present. Those strange moments when you feel like you've been somewhere before, even though you haven't. That's time folding in on itself. A spiritual flash, a glimpse of a timeline your soul already walked through, the dreams that feel more like memories than imagination, the chills that hit your spine when you meet someone who will change your life. That's your destiny brushing up against your awareness. You are not becoming who you are by accident. You are following breadcrumbs that were laid out by your higher self, your anointed self, the version of you that already walked into purpose, already conquered the storms, already aligned with God's plan. And that version of you is guiding you through nudges, revelations, and inner knowing. Every time you obey that feeling, you shift closer to alignment. Every time you ignore it, you delay your arrival. This is why certain things no longer satisfy you. It's not that you're picky, it's that your future self is raising your standards. That's why certain people fell away without warning. Your future self knew they couldn't go where you're headed. That's why you feel restless in your current situation. It's not boredom, it's destiny pulling on you. There's a spiritual version of you already walking in authority, and they're waiting for you to catch up. The enemy wants you stuck in your past. He wants you obsessed with your wounds, distracted by your fears, imprisoned by your failures. Because he knows that the moment you connect with your future self, the moment you align with who you were always meant to be, you become untouchable. You begin to walk with a knowing, a fire, a focus that no weapon can break. That's why the attacks have intensified. That's why the confusion has been louder, because you're close. You're on the edge of breakthrough. Here's the truth. Your future self has already defeated what you're struggling with now. You're not fighting for victory. You're fighting from victory. You're catching up to the promise. That's why you must stay obedient even when it doesn't make sense. Move when the Spirit tells you. Speak when the word comes. Isolate when you're called to. Sacrifice what needs to be sacrificed, because every step of obedience is a leap toward the version of you who already knows how this ends. And when you finally arrive in that season when your present becomes what you once foresaw in faith, you'll look back and realize it was always you. The chosen you, the future you, the anointed you, whispering to your spirit, guiding your feet, aligning your path until the vision became your reality. You are not just a spectator in this life. You are not just a victim of circumstance. You are the bridge, the link, the sacred connection between what is and what will be, between the seen and the unseen, between time and eternity. The world is asleep in its blindness, but you are awake. You walk between dimensions without even realizing it. Your gift is the thread that stitches the future into the present. You carry the responsibility to walk boldly where others fear to step. Being chosen is not a burden. It is an honor. It is a call to rise beyond comfort, beyond fear, beyond doubt. Your vision is a light that will guide others through the darkness they cannot yet see. Your obedience will unlock doors that many thought were forever closed. Your faith will shift timelines. Your courage will rewrite destinies. Remember, every challenge you face, every lonely night, every battle in your mind, it is the fire refining you. You are being shaped to become a warrior of light, a prophet of hope, a guardian of truth. The future is not a mystery to you, it is a mission. And you are the one chosen to fulfill it. Stand firm in your gift, protect it fiercely, use it wisely, and never forget. God's hand is on you. Your future self is already leading you. The kingdom depends on your courage to see, to speak, and to act. This is your time. This is your purpose. This is your destiny. You are the chosen one. You see the future. Now rise and claim it.